I thank you for allowing your people to hear what has to be said. Let none of me and come through and only you. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. I want to begin by reading 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 32 to 37. And it reads, And David said to Saul, Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine. And Saul said to David, Thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, Thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God. David said, Moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me. He will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, Go, and the Lord be with thee. I want you to notice how the men of Israel who were under Saul were frightened of Goliath. And this was even before David ever decided to battle against the giant. This was before he even made a resolute decision to fight the giant before him. And David, in this moment, reassured not only the people of Israel, but his king. He reassured them the strength of God. He reminded them that God can provide, and God is the one that fights for them. He is the one that provides all answers and all solutions. He was the one that David prayed to before any of this took place. I want you to know that, like David, you have to stand firm. You have to know that God is at your side and that he will always do the impossible. He can provide for you. He can do miracles. He is a miracle worker and he is a promise keeper. He does not lie. His word will never return void. No matter the situation, whether it's metaphorical, physical, spiritual, God will provide for you. He can put a stop to anything. He can. An example of this is in Joshua chapter 10, when Joshua commanded the sun to stand still. Most people will probably ignore it and be like, oh, that's a small thing. But no, God literally answered a prayer. It was a miracle due to a promise that the people of Israel and Joshua had kept. Even when they made a mistake without prayer and without consulting God. He literally listened and changed a day. God can change your day. He can change your moment. He can change your hour. He can change your life. All you have to do is believe and have that faith as small as a mustard seed. Most people will probably tell you that it's impossible to believe that God doesn't exist, but he does. If he didn't, you wouldn't be alive today. You wouldn't even be breathing. You wouldn't have a moment to even watch this video. But I'm telling you that God has your situation covered, and he's heard every single prayer He's heard everything that you have to say. Do not give up on the Lord. Do not limit him. Do not put him in a box because he is limitless. He's a spirit and he moves. He moves even when you think he isn't moving. He is the one that makes sure you wake up in the morning. He's the one that makes sure you have peace when you go to bed. He's the one that makes sure that you have something to eat. He's the one that gives the little winks to you, even if you don't see it. Most of the time, people forget that God is a powerful God. He will throw rocks for you. He will stop problems for you if all you do is ask. He says in his word, ask and ye shall receive. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Seek and ye shall find. But first you have to seek the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. For he knew you before you came out of your mother's womb. He knew you, and he ordained you, and he blessed you. He knows you. Never forget that. Never forget that God knows you, that he loves you. Never forget. Because he wants you to have a good life. He wants you to have a prosperous life. He wants you to be good. He wants you to be wealthy and prosperous and honor him. He wants you to honor your mother and your father. He wants you to love your neighbor as you love yourself. He wants you to do many things with your life. He wants you to be happy. He doesn't want you to be sad. He doesn't want you to be miserable. He doesn't want you to be mad. He doesn't want you to be angry. He wants you to be the best version of you. And sometimes people forget to put God in any situation. But please, remember to put God in the situation that you're facing. He will give you the answers that you need. Yes, he will. He'll give you all the answers that you need.